Jesse, you're joining us from Japan. Arigato. How do you feel about helping nail that one in the coffin with the very last game?
Yeah. Oh, you're out of order, Jesse. It's all your fault.
It's a tough first question.
Hello and welcome to the RugbyPass Offload with Ryan Wilson and Max Leaf, and we will be joined later on in the show by World Cup winning Springbok Jesse Kriel. But first, bring you a little bit of breaking news as Wayne Pivac has been replaced as Wales coach by Warren Gatland after a disastrous 2022 for Pivac so far. Lads, what do you make of the decision?
We did say that was happening, didn't we, Ryan?
We bloody called it. We called
it. We called it. Yeah.
We said we came to the conclusion that Wayne was more sackable than Eddie Jones.
That's entirely what you said. Yeah.
And it is a shame because, listen, you don't want the man to lose his job. We don't want anyone to lose their job. We saw it coming, didn't we? He had a bit of a shocker with the results and that. And like I said, it's not nice to see anyone lose their job, but something surely had to happen. And I don't know. There's some chat, isn't there, around? I saw something in the script. Give us the stat on him about this vote of him being the world's worst coach or something.
For the setup, if you would like. Look, he, whilst completely revered in Wales, as we know, a lot of criticism on the British and Irish Lions tour for his tactics, and he did have a shocking first season as the DOR at the Chiefs in New Zealand, winning 0 out of the 8 games and being voted worst coach of the competition, if there is such a thing. However, we have to be impartial and down the middle. He did get the Chiefs to the final last year.
Yeah, but hold on. So, where's this vote thing come from? Because I've only ever
who's voting?
I've only ever seen Coach of the Year. So if we're going to start throwing out that, where did that come from?
Yeah, I want to know who voted as well. That sounds fruity.
Imagine they did that. That'd be cutthroat. Like, they do. You go to the awards, right, down at Monaco. Player of the Year, worst Player of the Year. I think they should have it. It would keep it interesting.
How would you find who? Like, that would be so tough, wouldn't it?
Oh, you'd have to have over a certain amount of game time to be put in there, because you couldn't just have some bloke that's only got like 10 minutes. So there'd have to be a criteria for this, but it could be a new thing.
Just mental health lawsuits everywhere. How good?
Yeah, so I question that wherever that poll or
worst up and coming player.
It's a very different job, isn't it, to the Lions? I mean, he knows those players inside out. The Welsh players. He's obviously worked with a lot of them, because a lot of them are the old boys that are still around, and there was quite a few on that Lions tour. So I don't know. It's interesting times. I'm excited to see what happens. I mean,
yeah, does he have the Midas touch? That's the question. Will he make a significant impact instantly? Because pretty much all the personnel there he'll know very well, as you said. So is it just business as usual when he gets straight in there?
And sometimes it's just a freshness coach. It's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it gets a bit stale. Maybe the boys have been a bit fed up. I don't know the ins and outs, I'll be honest, of what the camp was like. But sometimes bring someone in new, and there's a bit of a freshness about
new
camp.
old.
Suddenly people are like,
well, boys, go on. Not on the fence. Is he going to improve them?
I reckon he will. I'm going to say he will. What are you? How can you not look at? They've got some unbelievable talent there. Unbelievable players.
Yeah, I think it will. You're right. I've heard some things about Gatland, though. I've heard it's a tough camp, man. He doesn't mess about. Thunderdome sessions all day, every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard he's a serious customer for the goose days. So maybe that's what they need. I'm not sure, but yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going to go with you on that. Yeah.
So I think then there's a contrast there, because from what I've heard, Wayne Pivac's very relaxed. He's loved the beers, so then move that on to England. Do England need a refresh? Are the boys? We've heard it all. We've heard all the stories, and they're like, "Fuck, we just need someone other than Eddie Jones. Give us a refresh. Let someone else come in, take over, please." Is that what they're screaming out for? Are they playing terribly because of Eddie Jones? There you have it, Max. Tomorrow, or when this is released, are we going to find out that that is what they want?
So is that how it works? Is it like, do they take the players into like rooms and have them like lamps, like, you know, in the police movies where they like, where they interview them and they're like, so what do you think of Edger? Is it good? Do they get like the 80 cappers in there and be like,
I reckon they will. I reckon they'll ask some of the senior players, listen, what's the crack is? What's the feeling amongst the boys? Oh, it's bloody interesting.
But do you say the truth, like knowing that if he stays, you're the one who's? It's obviously going to come out that someone said some words, right?
Yes, that's.
Ryan? Would you have done it? You know, in your transfer it into your position and somebody who was under pressure, and would you have told the truth, or would you have
about the right
run for your position?
What do you mean, Max? What do you mean, Max?
Self-preservation all day, bro.
Nah, if it was a safe space and you knew, you need anonymous feedback. That's what you need.
Yeah. But that's just
Google Docs.
You would have gone to
no. Google Docs where you don't have to put, and you can put your VPN.
No, I wouldn't even do docs, mate. I'd write it on paper, then burn it after they read it.
Well, you cutting out newspaper?
I do it my typewriter actually, because then so they couldn't like do forensics on my handwriting. This man has a peaks in his E's and his A's. It's Max Lahif. No, I'd be on the typewriter. Times New Roman, old school.
Yeah, I'm cutting out the newspaper and making up words
like the Riddler. Yeah, good.
I think I would if I knew my position was safe. Let's say I was Stuart Ogg or Finn Russell, and I was like, no, I'm safe here. I'm one of the best players in there. Probably wasn't. I didn't ever have that stature, so I would have been like, oh fuck, am I going to get kicked out if I tell the truth? But those boys, yeah, I think they would. They'd tell the truth. I mean, I've been in places where I've been asked my opinion and given it, and it's just been completely ignored. But nothing's really happened afterwards. But you hear of coups. I heard of a coup that they tried to have at Scarlets, where the players tried to go against the coach. I can't tell you who it was, but they were like, "This is a terrible idea," and all those players that basically got together ended up getting sacked.
Yes, they did. They did the reverse. I'm Spartacus. Yeah. Oh no. Not me. It was his idea.
Don't become part of the coup. You can get sacked. But I don't know. You need the input from the players because
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go. You go for the Teflon Dons in the England camp. Ask them for impartial input, and you get. I think you get some honest and righteous men there. Yeah.
So here's your question: Alan Wynne-Jones, did he have a part to play in the sacking of Wayne Pivac, Max?
Max, give us an opinion.
Did Alan Wynne-Jones architect his downfall? I don't know. He's definitely the man with the influence, surely. I don't think so, though. He was in a good spot there.
How much are you putting on Alan Wynne-Jones to be the next forwards coach for Wales?
Do you reckon he got you straight in there as the national forwards coach?
As soon as he retires, he's in there, isn't he? In some shape or form.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Maybe like team manager?
No, he wouldn't team manager, would he? I don't know. No, he's not that sort of bloke.
Definitely
not.
That
Sort of bloke, I don't think.
I don't know. I don't know him. Do you know him?
I know him well enough.
What sort of customer were we talking? Flinty, edgy, straight down the barrel, dry?
Straight down the barrel, pretty dry, and
oh yeah, he sounds like a rugby coach already.
Yeah,
sounds like a sports coach already. He sounds perfect. Yeah, straight.
Yeah,
Done it all. He's got the resume.
So they have it.
Let's just try and squeeze a headline out of Ryan now. Bath, complete turnaround from last season under Johan van Glant. Some amazing signings in Ollie Lawrence, who we love, Alfu Barbary, who we also love, who's been on. Supposedly about to sign Will Rowlands and Finn Russell. Ryan, where's Finn go?
He's signed.
For Bath?
Nah, I don't know. look at you boys like, yes, here's the scoop.
But no, I was like, how are they pulling that off?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of chat around it. I'll be honest, I don't know. And you know what? I didn't want to ask Finn because I'd rather not know, because I knew that you would ask me on air and I wouldn't want to lie to you either. So it's better not knowing sometimes.
Yeah, but how much would man?
£1,000,000. If to get him there, you're paying him £1,000,000, I reckon.
Yeah, you're paying him £1,000,000 in it, 100%.
I had a little tot up on my iPad earlier trying to work out how much they'd have to pay him. You know, he's saving tax in France. He's got a kid now, so that brings the tax down a little bit more. So with all the tax stuff, surely it's £1,000,000 if he goes there. But no, I don't know.
Yeah, but then, on a marquee, I guess.
But
Who's the other marquee there? Who's the marquees there at the moment?
I don't know. I know how. I think by the sound of it,
Ollie Lawrence is going to be on P's.
the way. Oh, is he though?
Yeah, maybe at the moment he isn't, but they're going to want to keep him. So the next deal.
Yeah, they are. But so that he didn't have a job, so they're able to offer him a lot less money because he needs a job, right?
Same with Teddy Hill and Barbary.
They don't. I don't think they don't have one. It was Talupe Falatau.
And so the chat is that with everything that happened with COVID, all their players are on a lot less money than normal. So that's how they've got a little bit of cash spare. So in a minute, a lot of those players are going to be going, right, COVID's gone. You're filling the stands again. We want a pay rise. And you're going to have some unhappy blokes. So I don't know. It's worrying to see what happens there. But no, in terms of Finn, he's going to be them. If he'd be their marquee signing, I reckon you'd have to give him £1,000,000. Nice round figure.
Maybe he's sick of France.
I don't know if he's sick of France, but there's been a lot of chat around him, isn't there? Like Japan and stuff like that. But yeah, I genuinely don't know. He's been busy with the little one, hasn't he? And you don't want to pester someone when they just had a newborn. So I've left it. I've not been nosy enough, boys. I'm sorry.
Well, if Bath did sign Finn, you know, we're saying Will Rollins. I think Will Rollins actually has signed he's gone to France actually to Racing. But if they did sign Finn, do they win the league next year?
Not next year.
Nah, you need more than just a 10, I think.
Yeah.
Who is their 10 at the moment? Sorry.
Actually, if Bath have everyone fit, if they get it together, they've got the caliber of squad then, I reckon. But Orlando Bailey's playing very well. Like, he's one for the future for sure. Young 10, very young 10. Good player.
Can he slot in at 15 though?
Yeah, I reckon he can. He's a sort of running threat as well, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting indeed. I can see Finn in Bath.
Because I was thinking if Bath have their full regalia in the 8 as well, Ben Obano, Will Stewart, both England capped, Tommy Dunn would be still going. Then you got Mustard all over the pitch. Yeah, they could be pretty class.
But do they play? They don't play under Johan Grant enough running rugby for Finn to go there. Like they are very conservative at the moment. They kick the ball a hell of a lot. I mean, they've
scored some razzle dazzle tries, but maybe that's more off the transition.
Yeah, they've got a very slow ruck speed. I learned that today in the analysis, Max. Very.
Did you really?
Yeah, they are. Well, we're playing them this weekend, aren't we? So.
Oh right, is that one of your go-to stats? Is it? What was the ruck speed?
Something like 4.3.
Well, on average, yeah, but then I reckon they've only come good in the last sort of 3 rounds, I reckon. So,
well, here's a stat for you. All the URC teams and all the Premiership teams, Glasgow, fastest ruck speed.
Yeah, you guys were always about the fast and furious, though. Always have been.
Average 2.3 seconds.
Woof. That's quick.
And that's including building wedges, like kicks and stuff, you know? Because you've got to take that into account.
You do a lot of work on it?
No, we just train at about 100 miles an hour all the time.
I hate those sessions. You're just like, is this real? Yeah.
That's what we it's constantly like that. I like it. I like playing like that.
Playing like that, yeah. No, it makes life easier, that's for damn sure. But you have to have a pretty loose pack. You can't be Jurassic Park out there.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how they are. So yeah, if you put Finn in there, it's going back to it. You'd have to ask him to play a little bit more expansive. I mean, I remember, who was it when Nico went there, and they basically told him that he wasn't allowed to run because Nico went there as a 9. Nico Matawalu.
Yeah, I was there, bro. Yeah.
Who was your coach at that time?
Mikey Ford.
And he had told Nico he was only allowed to run after he'd passed the ball 5 times or something.
Yeah, bro, that's actually true. He did get curbed. He got put on a leash a bit.
Because he used to show and go from his own 5 metre and like try and make a break.
Yeah, Mike wanted everything played through 10 and centres. He wanted everything through George and like Carl and JJ at the time because they were all on flames. But yeah, wherever you want, if you're signing Nico, you're like, you got free reign, big fella. Go for gold. Yeah.
So you want to do the same with Finn. Give him the reins and say, go on, do what you want, boy.
We are delighted to be joined on the podcast by World Cup winner and current Springbok superstar Jesse Kriel to talk us through the recent Autumn Nations Cup and his career in general. But first, we do also have some breaking news to bring everybody. It's been announced that Eddie Jones has been fired by the RFU as England head coach after their worst year since 2008 and will be replaced by Steve Borthwick. Boys, reaction, please.
I fucking told you. I told you, Max.
Yeah, you were right. You were right. I was wrong. And Edjo's out, mate. End of an era.
Unbelievable. And I called it. I said he was out. You know, with the results, the way that England were going, it was due.
Well, Jesse, you're joining us from Japan. Arigato. How do you feel about helping nail that one in the coffin with his very last game?
Oh, you're out of order, Jesse. It's all your fault.
It's a tough first question. But no, obviously it's very, very unfortunate. I think whenever a coach gets sacked or anything like that, it's never nice, And I think obviously we've, as South Africa, have kind of been through that phase before where things kind of didn't go our way. And I think the positive thing in it is that England have really got a great squad and unbelievable players. And I really think that they know that they'll be able to kind of just get better from here on inwards. So, yeah, I think that's kind of the positive out of the whole situation.
How long has Eddie Jones been in there for?
7 years.
Mate, it's been a while. Yeah.
That is big, isn't it?
It's huge, pal. But yeah, as we said, big Steve Borthwick gets the reins. His game plan is going to suit them very well. And I reckon it's pretty easy to implement as well in a short period of time. So yeah,
Steve's been at Leicester, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's been at Leicester.
Yeah. I know the South African boys speak really highly of him, and they really enjoy him over there. So,
mate, we played Leicester on Saturday, just gone. That geezer Jasper Visas. He eats all the weird bits in the morning, doesn't he? My God,
he is an absolute machine, and even a better guy off the field. So he's a great player. Really doing well over there.
Jesse, talk us through. I mean, you've basically been through exactly what England are about to go through, more or less, with a coach coming in months out from a World Cup. How should England fans be excited?
Oh yeah, I think there's definitely always. I mean, you can look at it both ways. I think you either people like to look at the drama of the whole situation and things like that, but I think. As I think players will be excited. I think fans should be excited because, I mean, we all know that England have got unbelievable quality in their squad. And I think obviously results have been, not on their side of late, but I think everyone should be really excited with the caliber of players they have. I think that's what everyone kind of should be focusing on going forward, Yeah,
I agree. I think they've got a bit stale, a bit stagnant. So someone fresh coming in, even though it might not be a nice running game of rugby they're going to do, there's going to be a bit of difference there. And I reckon this could be big for England. Turn it round, big Six Nations. That makes me worry, believe it or not, for the first game, Scotland-England. Suddenly that's going to be a different game. I'm now looking at it going, this is very different.
It was low hanging fruit before, was it?
It was. It was easy pickings, boys. It was like right there. I could have taken them in my mouth, not even used my hands, straight off the tree. And now it's grown a little bit. Like you said, it is sad for someone to lose their job, but yeah, it's quite an interesting time. And we all looked at it and said, "Fuck, it's close to a World Cup to do it." But ballsy from the RFU, and like we said, I think something needed to be done. Caliber player in there, yeah, exciting times for England.
Jesse, weren't you a little bit shocked at how easy it was to walk over them with the talent they have?
I wouldn't say it was easy, mate. I think easy is putting it a bit light. I think it was definite. It was a bloody hard test match. I think we kind of in the past kind of knew what we didn't get right there, and I think if you look at all the games that we've just lost there, they've all been really closely fought test matches. So I think we kind of went in the into all. I think all four of our games were really tough on the end of year tour, or on the autumn tour, I think you guys call it. And the results were really close. So we really wanted to end the year off on a high. We had spoken about it as a group, and I think we just obviously got a few things right on the day, and I think we were pretty stoked with the performance. So
If we turn it around, are we going to miss? Because Eddie Jones is a real character,
Yeah,
right? Like it's been incredible having him around, and there's clearly so much that he has done that was very, very good for England. We need people like him in the game.
Yeah, mate. I think Eddie was part of the Japanese side in 2015. We lost against them at the World Cup, and that was at the time everyone thought he was a wizard. So you guys will know as players. One day you're a villain, next day you're a superhero. So I think it's all just part of the ups and downs of the job the thing that we do. And I think it's I think he's a great coach. He always, and I think Rassi said in the media a few times, rugby needs characters, it needs people that do things differently, that are not just, otherwise everyone's just the same and it gets a bit boring, So I think it's great to have characters like that in rugby.
He'll still be about. He's doing USA then next, isn't he? That's the chat.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, he's also a bit involved over here in Japan. I know he's come over here for a few visits at I think it is Suntory. So I know that the guys enjoy working with him, and he adds value over here. So I'm sure he'll make a success of wherever he goes.
You'd be so gutted if you're him, though, just because everything has been based. His entire directive since 2019 is, I will show you at the World Cup, and then you're like, you don't get a chance.
That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. This is pro rugby. This is pro sport. Success drive business. All right. So who are the first casualties in Borthwick's new regime? Who's getting dropped out of the starting lineup?
Well,
right.
Cockerell as a coach, I reckon's out there.
You reckon Cockerell straight out? Yeah. Ego clash. It'd be weird, wouldn't it? Oh look.
I don't know.
Do you reckon?
I reckon what we said last night, though. I reckon what we said.
Marcus Smith's off?
I reckon he's on the bench now. Marcus Smith goes onto the bench. Owen Farrell goes in at 10. They go back to that. I think some of the fans were screaming for that, weren't they? As much as everyone loves Marcus Smith, I think he's their impact player off the bench to change the game up a little bit and go back to basics. So you'll probably see that. But yeah, fuck. I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he'll change the squad that much. I think the players.
He'll just take. Yeah, I think the selection's right. Yeah. So no glaring outliers that you'd be like it has to be in right now.
No, unless there's some light you can shed on people that he doesn't like.
Nah, I've not heard much bad about Steve. I've heard he's the man. Really nice dude. But yeah, that all changes when you crush dreams, doesn't it? Dun, dun, dun.
Jesse, from your perspective, who have you found actually very, very tricky to come up against in that England squad over the last Eddie Jones-ish period?
Yeah, I think like the other boys have said, that it's an unbelievable squad. I think a guy like Manu, when he plays inside center, definitely I think he can be really destructive there, and it's obviously defensively it gets you to think a lot more. I also think a guy like Henry Slade, when he's been used for England in certain ways, they get a lot more width on their game, and that also gives them another dimension. So, yeah, I mean, I could carry on naming a few guys, but I mean, I know everyone talks about Farrell as well, but I think Marcus Smith, he's just as good and can make something from nothing. I know Andre Estes and is obviously in our squad, and he talks about Marcus a lot and how he runs the attack at Quins. So yeah, I think unbelievable squad. It's going to be. I suppose it's a good position for them to be in terms of having selection headaches. It's always good having a lot of guys that have got quality in various positions. So yeah, I think it's probably a good position for them to be in.
Talking of Henry Slade, what a handsome man, which brings me nicely onto my next part, right, of handsome men. I don't know where Mark saw you, but have you had any fan mail or anything? Because he has not stopped going on about since the senior.
Fuck off. Okay, Ben. Oi,
No,
Jesse.
no. Hold on, this is going in there.
Fuck off.
Stop swearing.
Producer Ben. No, okay, so Jesse, this is what happened. We were doing Stephen Kitsoff, Salman and Marco van Staten. So we did the three guys for like a fun thing just before your game against England, right? And then we're coming out and we're there with all the kit, and you're walking out and there's literally people waiting to take a photo with you. And Ben and I turned to ourselves laughing, going, well, he just makes us feel shit about life. Because you were looking like,
I think it was his calf, Mark.
And
Mark, how many beers did you have in, mate? It probably wasn't me.
Ever since then, he has not stopped talking about you. So if you've received any weird fan mail, or if like your pants have gone missing out your suitcase, it's probably Mark.
Jesse, let's just a quick one on that, just on that Farrell Smith sort of partnership. How does it differ though from the other sort of 10, 12 link-ups that you've come across in the series?
I think
why doesn't it work? Other 10... No, Jesse, what he was asking you is why doesn't it work?
I don't think it didn't. I don't think it didn't work. I think if you look at, let's take Ireland for example, or France. I mean, they went with kind of like a big. They went to the 12 like Dante. France went with Dante, and then Ireland went with other black. They go with Bandiaki or someone like that. So I think if you look at South Africa, we go with Damien de Allende, who kind of gives us a lot of kind of good go forward ball, gets us across the gain line and stuff like that. Whereas I think England went maybe with a different approach of trying to get 2 10s in, try play make a bit more, try get around teams. But I do think that gets a bit tricky when you come up against teams with a bit of line speed and stuff like that. So, but I mean, there's so many ways to skin a cat. You know, I mean, if you look at the past results, those two were the reason that, although they unlocked, they kind of did well to unlock our defense and get around that. So on the day it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's there are many ways to skin a cat. There's no right or wrong, I suppose.
Yeah, but how many like really good 2-10 backlines have there been? Like, if you think about it, traditionally, I can't really think of any that are like
Johnny Wilkinson, Matt Kiddo,
Toulon.
Yeah, I think
as well.
Those. Yeah. But then they had like a big buster outside or someone like that kind of, I suppose,
a gain line winner.
Yeah, kind of dent the line and stuff like that. So yeah, I suppose there's many ways to play and many ways of.
So Jesse, obviously out in Japan playing with the Cannon Eagles, you're playing alongside your international teammate Faf de Klerk. Is it good having him out there with you?
Mate, it's been unreal. I mean, we've only been here for a week, but I've kind of been designated to be kind of his chauffeur. I'm driving him around everywhere. He's Faf's big in Japan, and so I've been driving him everywhere, just sorting out his apartment, sorting out everything, and the boys are really stoked and excited for him to be over here. And I think our season starts next week, so he's really keen to kind of get onto the field and make a difference over here. But yeah, great lad, and boys are really stoked for him to be over here.
Oh, I bet they love him out there, don't they?
Yeah, I think they love his hair.
Yeah.
Hair a bit more than anything else. Everyone says in Japanese, sugoi means amazing. So everyone's just saying Faf's hair is amazing. So I think they love his hair more than the rugby part. But yeah.
Have you loved it out there since you've been?
Yeah, mate, I've absolutely loved it over here. The game's nice and quick. Yeah, it's a lot of more attacking rugby, hands on the ball a lot, and it's not always raining, and it's good, mate. It's really, really good over this side.
Quick word on the Onsens. You're a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Thumbs up, love
Yeah,
it.
baby.
Yes, sir.
Spent
Yes,
most of my
sir.
afternoons there. Yeah, the foreigners. We've got a few onsens close to where we stay, so the boys are there quite often, most afternoons.
How
And
good.
after training, straight into the onsen. Yeah, it's unreal. Good part of the culture.
I was about to
What's
say
your
they should get him in Glasgow, but I don't think it have the same sort of feeling in Glasgow.
Wait, Jesse, what's your go-to meal out there?
Go-to meal, probably some sushi. I think we got an unbelievable sushi train down here at the station. So I just jump on the sushi train and just really, really good, nice and easy. Yeah, no.
Was speaking of onsens and obviously Bush Central when you go to an onsen, we're delighted to be partnering with Manscaped over the next couple of weeks to help bring you all the best gift for Christmas imaginable, clean pair of balls, and get your bush in order. So lads, can you just give us one teammate of yours each who needs the incredible products from Manscaped to sort out
Well, I'm guessing that Jesse's got about 15 of them.
Yeah, fucking 15 of the whole squad, mate. Jeez. Probably about 50.
Full squad of Bush.
Can they send a pallet of that stuff over?
I've never seen anything like it.
Joe Batley of the Bristol Bears, Untamed.
Oh, I think Sione Tuipulotu could do with a good old Manscaped, I think.
Under the bus.
Oh, he's gonna hate it. But some people just like to let it grow, don't they? I reckon. And if he got a Manscaped out of it, he'd be pretty happy. So I'll pretend that he's getting one. Bob Harley was bad. Remember, Rob Harley had a fair old ginger bush on him. It was quite. That's quite exciting, by the way. How good that we actually brought up the onsen and we're talking about Manscaped again. Bloody love it. Ball deodorizer the lot. It's coming. No, they do that, Max. You know that's what they actually do.
Wait,
it sounds like an unnecessary product.
No, you don't have one ready, Ryan.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's in my rugby cupboard with
Oh wow, that is
ball
a nice
deodorant.
brand.
You put it on your nuts. Look.
Oh, that is delightful.
And if they're getting a bit saggy, which Mark told me the other day he had a problem with, ball toner. Look at that, ball toner. As you can see, still in the wrapper. Not needed. Not needed.
Not obviously. Perky balls on me, boy. Perky said
you're
nuts.
welcome, Manscaped. You're welcome. Anyway,
Jesse, who's one player that's gone back to Amazonia and is the most feral one?
Mate, we're gonna be here for 2 hours if I have to start naming the boys. Yeah, fuck that. It's the whole squad, mate.
Follically endowed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, we do, just so if the squad is listening, and essentially for the two that you've named out, Bolotu and Barney, we've got an incredible offer. Get 20% off and free shipping of all Manscaped products with the code RugbyPass. Let's move on. Razi's obviously got a little bit of bad press recently for his tweets and videos, but how incredible is he as a coach and as a motivator? What's he like behind the scenes?
Nah, he's unreal, mate. I think he's a great coach. He's a good, I suppose, friend to all of us. The boys really love him, and I suppose we love going to work on the weekends for him. And he's really good.
You obviously experience very close defeats to the Irish and the French, who, along with you guys, fair to say, are the three favourites to win the World Cup next year. Which one for you was tougher to face?
I think any loss in a Springbok jersey is tough, you know. So I wouldn't put one more or put one higher than the other one. I think both of them we were obviously gutted. I think there were two pretty decent performances, and we kind of did our homework on both teams. But I think, like we all know, the big games are obviously next year at the World Cup. So I think we kind of got our answers from the games, what we needed to get, and everyone's kind of sure what we need to do. So I think that's kind of the most important thing that we got out of the autumn series.
So not fussed either way.
What was that? Sorry.
So if you had to choose between taking on the Irish or the French.
No, mate. I think we know that we might have to take on both of them. So I think both really good teams, and yeah, I think we'll probably play both of them. Or, yeah, if I'm selected in the squad, fuck, I don't even know if I'm going to be there yet. So let's first get selected.
Right, you'll be right.
Yeah.
You come from a very strong rugby family. Your brother used to play alongside with at the Bulls. Also, tell us about his great grandfather. Was he a British and Irish Lion?
Yeah, he played for the Lions. So yeah, that was quite special. Obviously having the Lions tour in South Africa, being involved with that, it was quite special for myself and for my family. We obviously credit to the Lions, they got his Lions cap sent over, and yeah, my family was pretty stoked with that. So yeah, that was kind of special. I still can't get a British passport. I don't know how that works, but yeah, it was really, really special.
Well, that's pretty cool. What they sent over with the team a cap for him?
Yeah, they sent over a cap and like a whole like a form saying that he was part of the Lions, and he went on I think he actually played quite a few games for them. Went on a tour to New Zealand with the Lions, and yeah, so it was really special playing against the Lions, and obviously being on the South African side. Yeah, just a cool part of history, I suppose.
Yeah, that is. Fair play to him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really good.
Let's take you back now. You attended Maritzburg College, one of the most famous sports colleges in the world. I think they've produced to date over 275 international sportsmen. When Butch James came on, he said the first 15 initiation when he was there was to get polished by shoe brushes. Do we know if that's still the case, or if things changed a little bit?
Yeah, that was still part of the initiation when I was back at school. Yeah, there were a few other things as well, but that shoe polishing was definitely part of the initiation. Not sure if it still is. I think I've been out of school for 10 years. I had my 10-year reunion this year. So, yeah, been a while since then.
Hold on. So what do they do? Scrub you with a shoe brush?
Yep, pretty much your balls.
Oh, you.
That should have been
back to Manscaped.
Yeah,
20% off. RugbyPass. Get to your Manscaped side.
They scrub your balls with a shoe brush. Bloody hell.
Did you come up against your ball assailant at your 10-year reunion?
I actually didn't. I was actually looking for a few of my matrics, the guys that were my seniors at school, and I couldn't really find many of them. I think they were all pretty pissed, and boys were on the beers. So yeah, didn't find them.
Were many of those boys at the 10-year reunion playing professional rugby?
Not really. I think the only professional rugby player was probably Butch, and yeah, he's not playing anymore. But he's become a really good mate of mine. We both live in Durban, and yeah, get on really well with him. So yeah, he was probably the only other one.
No, he's a good boy.
Yeah, we enjoyed having him on. He also said actually that you well, we've heard from quite a few of the Springboks who've been on that to become a Springbok, you have to be caned. Who had the honour of caning you?
I think it was Victor Matfield. Yeah. Massive honour. Massive honour.
These days, are people like, is Cheslin available? And everyone's like, it's only Eben. And you're like, oh.
But I'm guessing, so now, though, you don't get fully whipped. It's just sort of like it's almost like a ceremony sort of thing, is it? Or do you get a good old whipping?
Why
No,
wouldn't
it's just a ceremony at the moment. Yeah, don't want to talk too much about what happens in that whole thing, but it's yeah, it's just a ceremony at the moment. So
Yeah, so it's just a
yeah,
couple little taps, like.
yeah, pretty much you could say that. Yeah.
Look at Max. Max thinks it gets all kinky. Look, he's like, why do
Yeah.
they not go full pelt? I don't understand.
Sad.
He's in the bedroom, Max.
Yeah, it's not some sexual thing, Matt. I think.
No, that's not what I'm insinuating. But okay, let's continue. Let's continue.
Jesse, when you were at school, the Craven Week tournament got you called up to the South African school side. Give us your memories of how competitive and tough it was.
Yeah, I think as you guys, well, I'm not sure if you guys know, but schoolboy rugby in South Africa is it's quite a big thing, and I think probably the time I was in high school, schoolboy rugby started to become really professional. So Craven Week it was like a proper tournament, and I think going there, obviously as a schoolboy being selected for the Sharks it was really exciting, and I suppose the start of kind of the professional or my professional journey, you know. So I remember being really nervous going over there. There was obviously at Craven Week, there's scouts everywhere. So you've literally got scouts from all the unions around the country, and you can see them with their clipboards and guys like talking about this guy and marking names. Yeah, so there's a lot of, I suppose, nervous energy running around. So yeah, I was lucky enough to have one or two decent games, and yeah, I got seen by the Blue Bulls. Hanneke Meyer at the time kind of got hold of. They actually spotted my brother when we were back at school. I've got a twin brother. He plays over in America, and yeah, he was. I was kind of just part of the package deal, and yeah, ended up going up to the Bulls, and yeah, was stoked to get opportunity, and yeah, kind of never looked back. So,
I mean, speaking of big sort of schools festival, quick plug for the World Schools Festival live on the RugbyPass YouTube channel next week. We got Millfield, Grey College are there, Hamilton
yeah,
Boys
they're
High
really
School
good.
in New Zealand.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah,
partying it up in Thailand. So
yeah, I'm sure the boys will be cutting loose that side.
Oh my, can you imagine that? How old are these guys? How old are these kids? Are they like what, age 17, 18?
17, yeah.
Can you
Oh no.
imagine going to a schools tournament in Thailand at 17? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's gonna end in tears.
It is, isn't it?
It is. There's gonna be controversy wrapped around that talk. Can't wait to read about it. It's gonna be fantastic.
You know, I was lucky to get
any good tours with Maritzburg?
A lot of recovery massages as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had a few good tours. I mean, our tours were pretty local. I mean, we used to fly to like Cape Town and things like that. But yeah, we used to have a few good tours, and I mean, the boys used to have a great time. It was always nice, kind of getting on an airplane. It was quite a big thing at school, getting on an airplane, going to another city, and kind of seeing different places. So yeah, got really good memories from my school tours, but nothing like going to Thailand or anything like that. That's quite wild. Yeah, I was obviously at school during the wrong time.
Yeah, too right.
But you played with the Dupree's brothers at age group at the Bulls. Have you been impressed with how well they're sort of getting on in England?
Mate, they were savages at school. They bullied everyone. They they were the same. They were the similar size they are now when they were at school. I mean, they used to absolutely wreck everyone at school. Yeah, I think there's like a highlight video of them on YouTube when they used to be at school. It's like, I mean, it's like playing rugby at 8 on the computer. They were unstoppable. So, but yeah, been really impressed with them. They're really good mates of mine as well. And yeah, they've done so well over in England, and I know they really enjoyed there. So yeah, they're really getting on nicely that side.
Are you ever tempted by a stint in the Premiership?
Yeah, well, I think when my deal, I've still got another 2 seasons, this season and next season, and then I'll kind of have a look at probably, I'm not too sure yet. I've kind of crossed that bridge, but it's always something that I've wanted to do. Come over that side. I know Faf has raved about it, and he said it's I think he was there for 5 or 6 seasons, and he said it was probably the best part of his career so far. So I think I've only ever heard good things, and we would love to get over there at some point, I suppose.
You were a fly half and fullback at school. You obviously a centre now, though. But have you been offering up your services at 10, like Santiago Carreras for the Pumas style?
Yeah, in training now and again over here in Japan, but I think at the Springboks definitely not. I think we've got enough quality 10s there. Kind of just stay in my lane and do my job over there. But not at the moment, mate.
You were signed up to the Blue Bulls and the Bulls as soon as you left school, as we said, alongside your twin brother. How competitive were the two of you when you were growing up?
Yeah, we were extremely competitive. I think we still are to the day. I don't get to see him that often. Obviously, now that he's kind of immigrated to America. But I think growing up, we were really competitive. I think we only split, didn't see each other for more than probably 10 days at the age of 21 or 22, when he ended up leaving to the Stormers. So yeah, it was so awesome to have someone with you all the time growing up, and someone doing the same thing as you, so yeah, I was really lucky growing up having him.
Are you identical twins?
No, thank the Lord, not.
Is he better looking? Fucking hell.
Yeah, he probably is, mate. He's married with 2 kids, and I'm here by myself, so he's obviously done something right.
God, don't tell Mark that. Jeez.
What is this narrative?
Jokes,
Mark, listen. Whereabouts is he playing in US, Jess?
He's in Seattle at I think it's Seawolves.
Seawolves, Seattle Seawolves.
Yeah,
Mate, that's where the broccoli man is.
Oh yeah,
who's the broccoli man?
Mate, we had him on. They've got this. They've got this bloke who he stands in the stands with broccoli and eats raw broccoli, and he's the broccoli man. He was on the news and everything.
Yeah.
Ask your brother. Say, have you met the broccly man yet? When you speak to him next.
What the fuck?
You met the broccoli.
That's crazy. I'm gonna ask him. After this. That's so
Max,
funny.
you were on it when he came on, weren't you?
Yeah, no, I remember that. He was a lovely guy, lovely man. Yeah.
School teacher.
Was he eating broccoli on the show?
I can't know. He didn't have any broccoli left.
He didn't eat any broccoli on the show.
The broccoli man didn't bring any broccoli, so it was just the man on the show.
Yeah.
That was fucking weird to think about it.
Have you watched your bro out in the MRL? Have you been out to visit him or seen any of the games?
I watched most of his games. They've got an app over there where the games are all streamed, so I watch him over here in Japan. But I'm planning to go visit them after the season now in Japan, probably around end of April, May. So I'll probably shoot over there for a week or so, and go see what the States has to offer.
Does he have citizenship?
No, not yet. I think that's kind of the plan going forward, So but absolutely loving over there.
I heard Seattle's like England in terms of climate, like always.
Yeah,
raining.
Don't get shit.
Apparently it's bad. Lots of homeless people, always dark.
So you're gonna pop there, then go straight to Vegas, basically for the pool parties for 4 days.
Yeah, might pop into Seattle for about 20 hours, 21 hours, and then straight to Vegas. 5 days or 6 days. Yeah.
The transit. Now, apparently you were borrowing the keys to your old school's gym and doing secret night-time workouts every night in order to bulk up pre-joining the Blues. Confirmed?
Yeah, confirmed. A good mate of mine, or one of my best mates at school, he's actually in the UK. I caught up with him recently, but his father was the deputy headmaster, and he kind of smuggled the key for us, and I got one cut, and had access to the gym whenever I wanted to, so it was always good.
Imagine if you had a squat rack like Max, you wouldn't have had to do it. Look at him.
Yeah, I'm slacking at the moment. I'm looking in my lounge and I've got no squat rack or nothing behind me. But Max, I need to lift my game.
Max, how often do you actually use that? Just a quick note on it. Do you actually use it?
I don't know, like not that often now that I'm playing a lot. I'm dust, mate. The tighted prop can't be doing too much heavy weights before starting a game. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't. It's not feasible. But I remember when I was at school, I bought that. Where you see, I'll show you this thing. I bought when I was at school. Look at this antique, boys.
Oh, fucking hell.
So antiquity. Like, just an easy curl bar. Look at the rust on it. Still got tape from Wellington College. If you get cut on this, boys, you can get a tetanus shot real quick. Otherwise, you're losing your hands. Yeah.
Fucking hell. His missus must be like, please, just get that
That's
shit
a
out.
piece
That shit out.
It's a piece of history. Right. But yeah, that's how I got the large pipes.
Yeah, that's where I've been going wrong, boys. I've
Well,
never had a wait.
ambrosia rice pudding at school, tins of it, just post workouts. I hate rice pudding, can't stand it anymore.
Jesse, you were coming to a dressing room with the likes of Victor Matfield. Well, if we're talking about the Springboks, the Beast, Brian Abana, Scout Berger, Bismarck Duplessis, give us your recollections on how scary that was.
I think initially it was pretty scary, coming in as I suppose a 20-year-old coming to change them with legends like that, guys that you look up to. But I mean, they always kind of made it. Well, the environment was always made that it was kind of acceptable for youngsters to come in. I think it was quite nice coming into a team with guys that were so experienced, because you just kind of needed to focus on what you needed to do and not focus on too much else. I think when you become a senior player, the responsibility becomes bit bigger in terms of helping other guys do exactly that. So I think at the time it was really cool. I think it would be a lot better than worse if I could explain it like that. So yeah, and most of them are still really good mates. So yeah, awesome times, good memories, and yeah, got to play with a few legends. So yeah.
Every one of them we've had on here, though, Mark, like every single one of the legends from the Springboks, like they've all been such good blokes, Max?
Yeah, very, very good people.
Good. That's why we keep getting them on. We're like, yeah, we love the Springboks. They're just a good crack. Was the Bulls dressing room similar?
Yeah, I think very similar. I think you had the obviously the likes of like Fourie, Victor, all of those guys. They were legends at the time, and kind of flip. I mean, they used to do so much in terms of deciding how we were going to play, what we were going to do, and then also just kind of explaining what you needed to do and what was expected of you. So I think it's always easy going into a team where you kind of know what you need to do, what's expected of you. It just makes it a lot easier to just kind of get the job done, So yeah, they were instrumental and proper legends at the Bulls and Springboks.
But taking you straight out of school, right, and then you're into this environment where you've got guys like Victor Matfield and people like that. Like, what how are they dragging you out on the beers and kind of being like, what are they like on the piss?
Yeah, I think they were always really inclusive. I think that was a great thing. I remember going to my first camp. I think it was I don't know if you guys know where Sun City is. We went on a Blue Bulls camp to Sun City. It's like 2 hours from Pretoria. But they were always like really good, like good banter, always including the youngsters, whether it be with beers or like making jokes or singing or doing stuff like that. So you always really felt like part of something. And I think when you made feel to be part of something, I think that's when it becomes really special, and you kind of really, that's when you suppose go the extra mile for the guy next to you. So I think that was always the case, and I've always been lucky to be part of really good teams, and with a bunch of good guys. So I've been lucky in that retrospect.
Let's move to a wonderful moment. Your debut in 2015 for the Springboks against the Wallabies. You even managed to score a try. Just take us back to the memories of that incredible day for yourself, despite the narrow loss.
Yeah, before that game, I hadn't really played much at outside centre. I mean, I played mostly fullback for the Bulls. So I remember going into camp, and Jacques Fourie was still there at the time. And yeah, I remember him helping me a hell of a lot. Another like a legend. I mean, you think a youngster coming to the squad, the guy in the same position, being a bit iffy, maybe not to help the guy, maybe to be, I mean, it's like direct competition, but he was unbelievable. Helped me a lot, especially defensively wise. And then, we played the World 15 the next week. That's where I got it wasn't a cap, I suppose, but first game. Got a good feel to it, and started to get a bit of a combination with a few of the other guys, and then went on to Australia, and yeah, had a really a great debut. I was lucky enough to score, like you said, and obviously gutted that we didn't get to win that. But yeah, I was just so stoked to kind of get that first one under the belt. And yeah, so I think it's I suppose every school kid, or especially in South Africa, to play for the Springboks, it remains like the ultimate thing. I mean, even to this day, still so special to get a shot or whether it be against whoever, you know. So special to wear that jersey and to play for the Springboks. So yeah, I was very, very stoked.
What was it like playing in the centres with the legendary Jean de Villiers at the 2015 World Cup? You know, how did he help you develop?
Yeah, it was good. He's a joker. So I mean, he's a guy that would crack jokes in the field, and I mean, he would. Where I was quite serious back then, like, you know, obviously coming in, just like, need to get the job done, blah blah blah. But John would always be cracking jokes, and I mean, he's a great leader. Always kind of broke the ice. So, but extremely experienced and helped me a hell of a lot. I must say, right throughout my career, I've been really lucky playing with experienced guys. You know, I had a guy like John on my inside, and then you had Brian Abana on the wing, on your outside, and then you had on the other wing, you had JP Peterson, who's also unbelievable, really experienced. So yeah, I've been really lucky, kind of learning off guys like that, and yeah. So I suppose I wasn't really thrown in the deep end, you know. Just kind of had to slot in and around those guys.
After the heartbreak of being knocked out by the All Blacks in the semi-final of that World Cup in England, you obviously distraught, but didn't Sonny Bill Williams have some lovely words for you?
Yeah, mate. I remember it was pretty shit. To put it, yeah, I suppose no other way to put it. Because we had got so close, you know. I think it was 2 points in that game, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I think we kind of threw the whole kitchen sink at them, and yeah, them at us. And after the game, he just came up to me and he was like, "Yeah, mate, don't worry. I mean, it's going to be all good, you know. Like, help me up." And yeah, he's a great guy. Still a guy that I talk to this day. And I think just everything that he does, whether it be through his boxing or through his religion or helping people, I think he's a great human being. And also, yeah, a guy that I suppose I've been lucky enough to play against and share a field with. So yeah, great guy, good player.
4 years later, you were obviously meant to play a key part in the South Africa's World Cup victory in Japan. You sadly got injured in the pool stages and then replaced by Willemse. How gutting was that for you on a personal note to miss out on the rest of the journey?
Yeah, obviously, I was kind of part of every single test match leading up to the World Cup from 2018. So I think to get onto the field, I remember getting onto the field with about 30 minutes or so to go, and then it literally happened in the last play of the game. When my hamstring just went. So yeah, I was gutted about that. It wasn't ideal. But I mean, like, looking back at it now, it's actually like, it's so relevant. You know, you look back at it and it's like, you realize that all that matters was us kind of going on and getting the job done. And I suppose everyone at the end of the day has a medal, and we all won. So that's all that mattered. And yeah, we were just so stoked that we could get the job done. I mean, when we got back to South Africa after that, after the final, like, to see what it meant, we had a bus tour for 2 weeks. There was obviously a lot of beer involved, and we do remember, but yeah, it meant a lot for our country. And yeah, I think seeing that kind of stuff just made injuries and all of the, I suppose, the bad part of it, if you want to say that, like, irrelevant, you know. So yeah, it was unbelievable.
This will be something I think that Ryan perhaps appreciates, but you know, bitterly disappointed with, you know, not being able to play in the subsequent games, but then you were flown out for the final, right? And
yeah,
so then actually had a day as a Springbok who potentially was going to get a World Cup winners medal, but also is allowed to go and have a day on the source, having the time of their lives in Japan.
Yes, I'll tell you a bit about that. So that's actually, I'm glad you asked. So Gavin Verigis, he's a massive supporter of Springbok rugby. Actually sponsored the Springboks. He was the head sponsor for quite a while, but he actually Eben Etzebeth organized for us to get flown back over. Like, organized flights through Gavin, and Gavin it was myself and Trevor Nyakane. He also got injured, remember, in that first game. I think it's his calf or something like that. So yeah, we flew back over. Yeah, we were on the beers on the flight there. Got there, kind of surprised the team, which was really good. Boys were pretty stoked to see us, and the same for us. We were so stoked to see everyone. And yeah, Trevor and myself, I think we won the night. We won the game the night before. That's the joke him and I always tell each other. We went out and had a great night, and yeah, obviously the celebrations just continued from then on. But yeah, it was good fun.
Oh, how good! Best of both worlds.
Mate. Best of both worlds. Yeah, we really enjoyed it, and yeah, it was so good to get back. And I know that between Earburn and the team, the guys made a real big effort to get myself and Trevor back there. So yeah, it was flipping special, and yeah, we had a really good time here in Japan.
Japan's a good night out as well, eh?
Yeah, mate. There's so much going on here. I'm sure you've been to Roppongi before, and all those areas.
Northern guy?
No,
Never heard of it.
Ryan, you've never been there.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. No, it's really good there. So, yeah, I don't get there too much anymore, or try not to at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good over here.
Did that shape part of your thinking though? Like you had such a good time. You're like, hey, I'm going to stay here.
Well, I'd already signed to come over to Japan before the World Cup, so I think it just cemented my decision and made me realize that was the right decision. So yeah, if anything, it just made me realize that it was the right decision. Yeah.
Right. Let's finish off with a quick fire round. I will say, by the way, when we were out in Japan, you know that typhoon. Do you remember that typhoon that we were there for? I was following Wales and France, and we basically got locked into Geronimo's. Have you ever been to Geronimo's, the shop bar? And it was, we were locked in there for basically 10 hours whilst the typhoon was passed in this place, and literally the place was like fucking pandemonium. It was like everyone was just completely, because there's nowhere you couldn't leave the bar. So it was
no, surely you just get steaming.
Yeah, I was just about to say, hopefully you made the best of that.
It was amazing. It was literally amazing.
The best excuse to get absolutely smashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick final one, actually, just before we finish. From your perspective, how tough is it to compete with a fully fit Lucania arm for the shirt?
Yeah, I mean, it will be extremely tough. I mean, Lucanio, him and I are actually really good mates. And he was over here in Japan last season, so we got to see a bit more of each other. But he's world class. He's a great player. And I think that's the great thing at the moment in the Springboks. We've got so many decent players in all positions, in a lot of positions. It's not just in the centers. It's, if you look at the loose forwards, if you look at locks, if you look at props, everyone's kind of pushing for positions, and it just creates a healthy environment, you know. So whether it be starting, whether it be on the bench, whether it be not playing, that's all kind of irrelevant to us, you know. We just want to, in the end of the day, like I said earlier on, when you I suppose winning together is better than winning alone, you know. So when you win in the end of the day and everyone gets the medal, fuck, it's great, and you all have a good time and you make some good memories. So that's all that matters. But yeah, I can't wait for him to get fit and back on the field. I know he's close to getting back on the field, and he's going to be great for the Sharks and definitely the Springboks. So yeah, really excited for him to get back on the pitch.
Right. Let's go with our quick fire round. Jesse, first thing that comes into your head, best player you've ever played against?
Ma Nonu.
Best player you've ever played with?
Farida Priya.
Biggest fight you've ever witnessed in training?
Ooh. Probably Dion Stachman when I was at the Bulls. He used to love getting into fights. Yeah, there were a few.
Just a training enforcer.
Yeah.
Worst enemy in rugby?
Worst enemy in rugby. I don't really not like him. Obviously, Don't like, I suppose, probably Owen Farrell, but I mean, he's such a good guy off the field, but on the field is probably a guy that I don't like. But I mean, off the field, he's a great guy. So yeah, I suppose he's not an enemy, but on the field, yeah.
And 3 players you're taking with you in a cab for the biggest night of your lives.
Andre Esterhuizen, Damien de Allender, Willie Leroux.
Oh,
Dangerous, very dangerous group of gentlemen, that.
Yeah. I don't think the taxi's coming back. Let's leave it at that.
Very dangerous.
Well, sadly, that is all the time we've got left for this week. Thanks to Ryan and Max as always, and a huge thank you to Jesse. Good luck with the start of the season in Japan, and we'll see you all next week.